Hey coders, in this video we're going to talk about day two of finishing the prototype brainstorming. On Thursday, you guys should have finished the first page on what these UI elements do. What does a button do? What does a text input do? What does a label do? What does a drop down do? What does a radio button do? What does a checkbox do? What does an image do? What does a text area do? What does a slider do? This is all review, and you should have kind of understanding of how this already works. Okay. So they're giving you examples on page two. You don't actually have to do anything. They give you an example of what's for lunch. So, for example, someone who's making a paper prototype would do this. Let's go and take a closer look. So, this is a person trying to figure out like a paper prototype of what this game or this app will look like. It would say sufficient software. Okay, so that's kind of like a logo. And the next screen will be once you tap it, it'll say what's for lunch, and then it'll say something like learn. So there's a learn page that talks about the food pyramid, and there's a back button. The person clicks the back button, and then the next thing on the list is about us. So, this person's prototyping, he's not actually making it, but it'll say something about, whatever sufficient software is, and the back button. And then there's a research button, and then they'll say research and a bunch of research maybe about foods, and you hit the back button. How to play. So they'll tell them kind of like the user how to play, and then you hit the back button, and maybe some pictures of the screen and whatnot. And the play button. So the play button, this person draws kind of a multi-step, link page. So the play button goes into this. Choose three items, and then the person chooses three items. Any type of food, apples, soup, bananas, chips. And then it would go to this page and it says, well, choose three more items. So they'll choose like salsa, chips, I don't know, what does this say? Cookies or banana, apple. And then it would show them their score. So some type of score of, zero, bad score, good score, positive scores. And then the player can play again, which goes back and chooses three items, you know, um, where they choose a three item, and then they move it into this box, and then they click submit, and then they can get a score. And the idea is, I guess, to maximize your score. So it's basically trying to teach people how to make a healthy lunch, and then eventually they can hit the main menu and go back to here. So it's a very simple app, but even a simple app has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. This is kind of like one actually like one actual scene. So they're just basically showing them how to move icons. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight screens for a very simple app that doesn't do much. Okay. Besides, let you play and whatnot. So your job for today is to make your own screen. So right here, there are suggested screens that you can see from the um, lesson 10 interactive. So decision making is the software on here. Do you remember the quiz one, how it works? You click run, you can take the quiz. Again, this is on lesson 10, and they show you like, a couple ways that you could make a simple quiz app. If you go to bubble number 4, they show you an app on how to make decision making. So basically, you're going to hit run. You're going to make a decision. So let's say you want to make like a storyline type of game, or to simulate some type of decision making, and you make a decision tree, and you go, well, which one? You go this one. I don't know. Or when? I don't know. And then you get some result based on the answers that they gave. So you have to kind of set up your screens and figure out what that will all look like and what questions to ask, and then kind of give them a decision making tree. Okay, let's go to app number 5. In app number 5, they show you how to make a list. So a lot of apps have lists in them. So you can add to the list by hitting the add button. And let's say I'm just going to do a test. And things are supposed to be added onto my list. And if they're done, I can click on done. And if I don't want to see it anymore, I can click on this X and it would delete the item. Okay. Now, obviously, the functionalities aren't here because they don't want to teach you everything or give you all the code, but you understand how this kind of works, how this app works. And a couple of last ideas to help you out. There's another thing you can do is kind of like crowdsource. So crowdsource is like basically your forums. People add to the content, and then people like it, and then people don't like it, and whatnot. So, for example, you click on the crowd. So this is sort of how it works. People have to log in with their user name. They can submit something. So you click submit, testing, and you click add, and the word testing is supposed to show up here. And once it shows up here and it says user Mr. Win, you guys can like it or not like it. Okay. So that's what this is supposed to do. Okay. And that kind of gives you a couple ideas of what your screens could look like. So under here, you're going to tell me what your screens look like. Okay. Now you don't actually have to make like paper prototypes like this, but I actually want you to start thinking about, okay, what's the name of the screen? What does it do? And what does it link to? So for example, if I was doing one for this, I would go, okay, the first screen would be a name of my company, sufficient software, okay, description, has a logo of sufficient software, and it has the word sufficient software in big text. What does it link to? It links to what's for lunch. Okay, links for what for lunch. So the next screen, what's for lunch? Description. It will have a pyramid. It will have 5 buttons. One for, if you zoom in, I'll have a button for learn, a button for about us, a button for research, a button for how to play, a button for play. It will have a description or words on the bottom. What does it link to? It links to everything. The learn page, the about us page, the research page, the how to page, and the what choose 3 items page. So basically, you're going to populate this for every single screen that you plan to make. Okay. And I say keep it simple, guys. Don't make it more than I say 20. Okay. Even if, once you actually think about what your screens you're going to make, it only takes about, gosh, to program each code, maybe 2 minutes a page. So it's not too crazy. Maybe 10 minutes a page if it's a complicated page. We'll teach you how to do the code for a lot of those pages that you already saw on the app lab, the demo apps here under lesson 10. Um, so yeah, you guys can go crazy, but not too crazy. So try to keep it at least above 8 screens, but somewhere between less than 20, unless you're really, really ambitious and you want to go up to 30 or something like that. But again, you have to describe every single screen, okay? Every single screen. Now, if you're doing a thing like, for example, the question app, and you have multiple question trees, then don't write a screen for each one. Just write one for the generic question and then how it links to the next question, then links to the next question, links to the next questions. Okay, so don't go too crazy. Okay, all right, and that's it. So your job for today is to start writing me what each of your screen does and the description. Once you finish writing the screen and the description and what it links to, you're gonna have a good idea of what your app's supposed to be. Again, this doesn't have to be your final version, okay? This is still in your mind, your process. You're still figuring it out. You can change it later, but I want you to really start figuring out at least 8 screens about what your game is gonna, or what your app is gonna do. I keep saying game, what your app is going to do, and write me the description and how it links. Okay. So again, you can use these for prototypes to kind of help you out about what kind of app you're leaning toward. And maybe you want a combination of these things. Okay. So go ahead and start brainstorming, start writing it down, submit this assignment to me. This will be your attendance for today. See you guys later.